The sun had barely risen, and the training field was already buzzing with the sound of boots pounding against the ground. Young recruits shouted in unison, sweat dripping down their brows, their voices blending into one echo of determination. Among them, one man stood out, not because of his skill, not because of his speed, but because of the whispers that followed him. His name was Daniel Hayes, a 32-year-old single father who had joined the training program later than most. While the others were barely in their 20s, filled with fresh energy and carefree laughter, Daniel carried something heavier on his shoulders. Life. Responsibility. Pain. He wasn't here to prove himself to the others, he was here because he had a little girl at home who depended on him. Emma, just 8 years old, was his reason to wake up every morning. Since her mother had walked out years ago, Daniel had been both father and mother, protector and provider. But the recruits didn't see that. All they saw was a man older than them, slightly slower, with worry lines etched across his face. When Daniel lagged behind during the morning run, some chuckled. When he stumbled during push-ups, they sneered. "Hey, old man," one recruit shouted during training, "this isn't daycare. Go back to your kid. We need real soldiers here." Laughter broke out among the younger men. Daniel clenched his jaw, swallowing the sting of humiliation. He wanted to tell them he was more of a man than they could ever understand. That every night he packed his daughter's school lunch, tucked her into bed, and whispered promises he was determined to keep. But he stayed silent. He didn't want pity. He wanted respect, the kind you earned, not begged for. The hardest part wasn't the physical exhaustion. Daniel could handle the blisters, the aching muscles, the endless drills. The hardest part was the judgment, the feeling that he didn't belong. Every night after training, while others went out drinking or laughing in groups, Daniel sat alone, staring at a worn picture of Emma. Her smile gave him strength. He whispered to himself, "For her. I'll make it through this. For her." One morning, the training shifted from drills to combat practice. The recruits paired up, gloves on, ready to spar. Daniel was left standing alone, until a tall, cocky recruit stepped forward. "I'll take him," he smirked. "Let's see what Daddy can do." The fight began, and at first, Daniel struggled. His opponent was faster, younger. Blow after blow rained on him, and the recruits jeered. But then something inside Daniel snapped. Years of frustration, of holding back, of swallowing his pain, he let it out. He dodged, countered, and landed a strike that sent the younger recruit sprawling to the ground. The laughter stopped. Silence filled the room. Daniel didn't gloat. He didn't smile. He simply walked back to his corner, chest heaving, eyes filled with quiet determination. The others looked at him differently after that, but